Okay, so this is it in a nutshell. We're the Stonetown Model Railroad Association. There's a whole crap load of stuff up on the wall to do. The marking on the wall is where what they're gonna call the Goderich sub, I believe. It's gonna come up along the wall here. You'll see it's all marked, and where the X's are is where the brackets are gonna go for the bench work whenever it gets to that point, and it's going to come all the way down along the wall. And at the one end here, they're going to have like the GXR does, like a salt mine, and it's going to come down on a steep grade. And I think they're going to have a passenger station on the lower. You can see the lower level there come off the helix. And they were talking about maybe putting a Y in here, coming off of here, going around. That's a possibility. This is the smaller of the two helixes. All the hardware was donated by a gentleman who owns a hardware store, and his kids, I guess, come up here and watch and look and all that stuff. So over here we've got what eventually is going to be the auto, like I guess your cami, more or less. Schnabel, Chad's, passenger, vintage Cato equipment stuff. Double track main, north and south, all the way along. This is the upper yard up here. And how many tracks is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 plus a runner. And then we diverge off into one of the shop facilities. Ugh, I can't talk. What else? And we go over here to another smaller, what I like to call my small version of Salford, because that's where all but one of my engines are parked currently. And then you got a runner. It comes out around this side, and you diverge onto the south, I guess, or no, north. Anyways, double track main, crossovers to get into the yard. Couple industries, lumber, and a paper mill, I think. Another set of crossovers, a potash spur over here, as well as a little tank facility, so you can fit 3 or 4 cars in there, I think. And then we have the Y. This part is problematic because it's not straight, so stuff derails off it all the time. And then, if you so choose, and if you've got some cement hoppers, you come down here into the cement facility. Room for 2 tracks worth, and it's really downhill, so you got to be careful. Otherwise, you're going to be going off the deep end down there. And there's also, come over here, got gravel loads, and they are live loads. What doesn't end up in the hoppers ends up in the Timmy's Cup. Little Tilly, which actually does have sound in DCC, and it pushes, I think it can pull all 5 of these. Anyways, yeah, there it is, St. Mary's Portland cement. So over yonder we carve our way around. Got a couple of buildings there we're gonna fix up and glue up and put, I think, on the branch line whenever we get to it. Curve around, another set of crossovers, crossing there eventually. Couple storage tracks along the side, one of which where the track cleaner's currently sitting. Double track main, laser straight. Come down here to the auto plant, or what's supposed to be the auto plant. It's not really finished. whatsoever. They're still trying to decide what they want to do with it. And they want to decide whether they want to leave it like a Talbotville kind of thing where everything's gone, or whether they want to actually put some more buildings in here and make it an actual working industry. And I suggested maybe putting like a Tilly or a Trackmobile in here to make it more realistic, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, as we curve around here, we come to Wanda station stop, and both tracks meet here. There eventually will be signals, hopefully, and then we go up the big monster of a helix, and unless you have about 4 engines, you're not going to make it up with any sort of train because it's fairly steep. So, well, how many levels is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 or 9. Yeah, it's massive. I wouldn't want to build something this humongous, but it works. And it's kind of awesome to watch it go around. So depending on which track you go on, you can either come out under here, or you can go around the top. I think there's going to be a bridge, or maybe 2 going in one of, or 2 of these spots, maybe. Via RDC, which is Chad's, I think. He picked it up at, what show was that? Not Copetown, but Ancaster, that was it. Anyways. Okay, continuing our tour. We come along up here, and we've got another sort of engine facility. If I flip it around, whoops. It says engine cruise. So there's that there. None of the scenery or anything's glued down yet because they're not even close to scenicking. Daniel's engine, Chad's whole whack load of TH&B, and WNY and P, big monster engine, which sounds really good, by the way. Small-ish yard in here. How many tracks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 if you really wanted, but there's only 5 usable tracks because the power is stored on the rest of it. Again, you come out to your double, well, it turns into single track over here. It goes from double track to single track. And then we come over here, and we've got our grain spur. So you can access it from either side. You can either access it over here, or you can come around this way and access it from over yonder. Let me walk back around again. Or you can access it over here. Eventually they want to have this all computerized and have the switches all controlled by a computer, JMRI, all that jazz. So more Wade Kelly is one of the main guys up here. He's a CN conductor. He works at a Kitchener on whatever the heck train that's called now. Another set of crossovers. This track here diverges over to our propane facility, so like your factor gas or NGL at OSR. Or like your gazillions of propane facilities down in Sarnia. I think that's about it. Yeah, so that's a sort of nickel and dime tour. A lot of this stuff, except for the NS unit, is Wade and Chad's. He's got a pair of GMD1s. That's Wade's. The Blue Devil's Wade's. The Draper Taper, or whatever the heck they call those, is Wade's. The GP9, which I think he said was a Kato or something, it's also his. Loud AF. Gives me a freaking headache. It sounds awesome. These 4 are Chad's, CP, what are they? HLCX, and then another WNYP unit. Also sounds fantastic. Wade's ST7 or 70i. So all this stuff pretty well is Wade's and Chad's up here. If we come down lower, you'll see the coach yard I attempted to lay. Did not lay it right. Oh well, whatever. So we've got Via Galore down here. Oops. Galore down here. Canadian on one track and two other separate trains on the other track. You can kind of sort of see it. Wade also has some SD40s and an GB40 hiding in there. This is double track main again, and what is it, 6 or 7 tracks now? And down at the other end, we're gonna have, I guess, a switch come off of here, and there's gonna be 3 tracks for locomotive storage, so we don't take a whole shitload of room up top. And all this stuff laying here, I guess, is stuff that has to be fixed, because there's a list of all the crap that's got to be fixed and what has to be fixed and blah blah blah. So yeah, there you have it, the Stonetown Model Railroad Association. So you can see some of the things to do, which there's lots, which I'm assuming I'll be probably helping out with. Track laying is not my forte, but whatever. Eventually, maybe I'll get better at it. We'll see. We went through today and picked out a whole bunch of buildings that we're planning on keeping. Because I guess they've got 2 tables at where is it? Kitchener. So I'm probably gonna go up there and man one of the or both of the tables, and probably gonna bring this turd to sell because I barely ever use it. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. Alrighty, so there's your nickel and dime tour of the Stonetown Model Railway. Really decent size, lots of running room, lots of switching. So, if you ever want to bring your stuff up here, let me know. Tag along sometime. Have a operating session, so to speak.